everyone, Ryan Young, KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu. I hope you're doing well. One of our members had asked me to do a video on stinky people wearing stinky gis. I did a video once on talking about if you wear cologne or if you're a female, if you wear perfume, how it's a good idea to go take a shower before you come to class and wash that stuff off. Because something that might smell good to you may not smell good to someone else. You know, smells are a very personal thing, right? You know, a lot of people, you know, I've heard, I maybe watched some commercial, whatever, and it's about some man and a woman interacting and how the man remembers what the woman smelled like and he's, you know, remembering years later. Like I said, smells are a powerful thing. You know, smells can make you gag. Smells can trigger a memory of something. You know, when you're little or something that might pop up, but it's one of the senses that in close contact with people, it's something that just seems to pop up a lot of times. So here at KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu, my goal here and our goal in general is to make it so smell is not in there at all, right? You don't ever want to be where you remember what somebody smells like when you're training. It should be as generic as possible. So, you know, if you're somebody, even if you don't smell, you know, you wear this, you know, cologne or perfume that smells good, still wash it off, number one. Now, the only thing worse than that is somebody who just smells bad. Now, sometimes people just naturally smell foul. We went to a judo tournament once, and there's a gentleman who we always see at the judo tournaments, and he's not working out, he's a coach. When he walks by, or if you're standing behind him, you know, you're trying to watch your competitor, and let's say he's on the side, you're like, whoa, right? It's a bad smell. And you don't want to be that person. Everybody goes, ooh, you stay away from him. That's a stinky guy. Or it's like, oh man, I can't believe stinky guy stood next to me, right? Now I want to watch this thing. I watch my daughter compete, but dude smells. You know, what are you going to do? It's offensive to a lot of people, but most people are not going to say anything. You know, that's the tough thing. So the question was, what do you do when somebody smells really bad? Well, here's what I would do. And here's what I have done. Especially, you know, let's say, you know, there was once this visitor that came in, and I still remember, you know, he brought in it was a blue gi, and when he sweat, it smelled like corn soup. I can't imagine that smelling bad. I mean, because I like corn soup, but it's just on a person training, it's not a correct smell. It's not something you expect, right? You know, other people didn't want to train with him. And we've had other people, they come in and, you know, I'm just thinking there's one guy, you know, actually two guys that came in and one of them smelled really bad. Don't know if he washed his gi before he came or what, but it smelled really awful. You know, being that they were visitors, people would talk about it later, but nobody said anything to them because they knew that he wasn't going to come back. But if it's a member, if it's one of your training partners here, and, you know, over here, we'll just ask, dude, you know, when was the last time you washed that gi, right? And then the person doesn't mean to do that. They're like, I don't know. What do you mean? You know, I just washed it. Then it's like, okay, so maybe the gi's got the smelly in the fibers already, and, you know, then perhaps you need a new gi, or maybe they really didn't wash it, you know, because, you know, sometimes I have my instructors tell me that, hey, you know, so-and-so, you might want to talk to that person because, I think they just throw the gi in the car and maybe forget about it and come into class wearing a different gi, and then, you know, go back and, you know, wash their gis maybe all at, you know, once, maybe later in the week. And the earlier in the week gis have developed that funk. It's something that people need to be told about sometimes, because you think it's just kind of common sense, but it's not. You know, I've had to tell students, I noticed the gis are getting brown. I'm thinking, why is your gi getting brown when we clean this mat 2-3 times in a day? There's no reason why your gi should be getting brown. Then I ask, I go, and I'll point it out to them. I said, where are you training with this gi? Right? They say, oh, you know, only over here. And I go, why is your gi brown? When was the last time you washed it? Oh, you know, I wash it once a week. It's like, whoa. No. You wash it after every single use. And when you get home, you know, because here we're at night class, you know, it's already 9:15 at night. When you get home, you throw it straight in the wash and you get it done, right? If you and you know, they say, oh well, you know, but then the next morning my gi is still wet, you know, so then you have to buy another gi. You know, it's just really a tool of the trade, right? It's not something. If you train 3-4 days in a week, it's hard to get by on just one gi. you need to have at least a couple. So like I said in other videos, just buy the cheapest ones you can find. They don't need to be expensive. They just need to serve a purpose. It doesn't matter if you have a $60 gi or if you have a $600 gi. It really doesn't matter. And in fact, you know, I've come across people who have, let's say, a $300 gi, but that's the only gi they have, and they use it over and over and over. And it'll smell just like a $60 gi will that's been used just as many times. Remember, most gis are made in either Pakistan or in China. There are some made in the US, but 99% of gis are made overseas. The only difference between one gi versus another gi is often maybe the cut or the embroidery, right? But as far as the material, it's all the same cotton, right? Unless you have bamboo, right? Like this. The difference in price really comes down to marketing. That's really what it is. So that being the case, just buy the ones that are not marketed. You know, we've got, you know, you can go onto our link and our Amazon link, and you can buy, you know, cheap white gis there. And those gis are made by Scotty Nelson, who runs On The Mat, right? He's one of the founders of On The Mat and Lucky. They're the same gis, but just not tagged. They're not. There's no marketing behind them. There's no brand name on it, but it's a gi just the same. So if you can buy 5 of those, go and buy 5 of those and just use those. And once they start to smell, toss it. It's not a big deal, right? But how do you tell somebody? You know, it's something that it's kind of a touchy subject, but the easiest thing is just cut to the chase and just do it. Just say, you know, dude, don't take me the wrong way because I love you, but that gi just smells horrible. What I've done is I've given free gis to people. I just go, you know what, here, what size are you? And I go, okay, you know, let's say that person's an A4. I'll go into my inventory, I'll grab one, and I'll just say, here's a gi. They go, oh, you know, how much for it? And I go, it's no charge. I go, but just do me a favor. That one that you have there, toss it. I don't ever want to see it here again, right? I'm not making them come out of pocket to, you know, because I don't know their situation. I don't know if they keep wearing that same one gi because they really can't afford one. And I don't want to have to tell them to get another gi if they can't afford it. So I'll just give them a gi because it's just for the betterment of the studio. And, you know, I don't want people talking behind their back about them smelling and all that kind of stuff. That's the last thing I want. You know, I don't, you know, if I have to pay for a gi for that person, I will. It's not a big deal. You know, and in fact, other members have done that too. You know, I have some members that just, they buy their gi whores. You know, they have a lot of them, you know, 50, 60, 80, 100 gis. And they'll give away gis to somebody who they think, you know, can use a gi. And it's not because it stinks or whatever. Maybe it just could just be that person just has one gi and it's perfectly fine. But they think maybe, you know, let me kind of encourage this person, you know, let me give them, you know, another gi, or this gi doesn't fit me anymore. You know, let me just give it to you. I've only worn it 3 times here. If you want it, you can have it. If not, that's fine too. And they give it. So that's really the best way that I can think of to handle that situation. You know, don't embarrass them. But at the same time, you know, try and get that stinky gi out of your academy, because once you have one, then other people will start to kind of do that as well. It's, you know, and I'd rather not do that. So anyway, hope that helped. And if you have any questions on how to wash a gi, then you can, you know, Rusty will put up here, you know, the link on our gi washing video. And if you have any other ways that you've done it, let me know. You know, I'm all ears for that. You know, I'd like to see how you guys do it in your school. Anyway, take care. Happy training. Bye now.